Hey guys, welcome to Pellets and Pits. Today is all about a whole smoked filet tenderloin. We did it just like we did our prime rib. You guys want to see how we make it? Here we go. Alrighty, to get started, our smoked prime rib was so popular with some of the family that when I had the opportunity to do a whole tenderloin, I thought I should try to assimilate that because the flavor profile was outstanding. So this is what we got. I actually intended to do this before Christmas. The prime rib was way before that. But with sickness running through, seems like all sides of the family tree, we have postponed our Christmas until later. And today is the day. So we got people coming over. So I'm gonna show you a quick rundown of what we got. A whole beef tenderloin that I've already trimmed up myself. On the Flat Top King, if you guys are interested, I've actually taken time and created a video of how to trim a whole tenderloin. We did very little editing because I feel like as a consumer myself that when we watch videos, if I really want to dive in deep to something, I don't like it when people fast forward like through the whole thing and just show you like tidbits. So I took the time to show you everything, the knives, how I do it and all that stuff. So if you guys are interested, you can check that video out. We can have a link listed below. How to trim a whole tenderloin. This is the whole tenderloin. Once we got ready to put it overnight in the refrigerator, no salt. No salt at all. I just patted it dry and just let it rest overnight in the refrigerator on a sheet rack. My wife goes, "Is that going to be enough meat?" And then I started second guessing myself, so I went out and got another one. I've trimmed this one as well. This is the same as that one. The difference is I've taken the tail off and taken the tip off, and basically this is what you would consider the Chateaubriand. List of rundown. I did the same thing. I let it rest overnight. I like to just dry it out. Okay.
In the fridge. Did you say that?
I hope so. Here is a list of the rundown ingredients. We have my Texas rub. We have my shake that, which I think is phenomenal. Obviously I do. Salt, pepper, garlic, and butter. Those two combined are a deadly combination. In the pot right here for a little bit later, I've just got a half stick of butter and I'm going to crush that garlic, slice it thin, and we're going to baste our prime rib when we get to the step of open flame searing.
Not prime rib.
What'd I say?
You said we're going to baste our prime rib.
Baste our tenderloin on the pellet grill. We're using Lone Star today. We use that open flame technology. I absolutely swear by it on pellet grills. I think it's a game changer. I can't imagine a manufacturer in today's world making one without it. I think it just changes everything. To the mix we go. We have horseradish. If I don't have enough of this one, I've got this one. Some rosemary, butter, garlic, some mayonnaise, some mustard, and some Worcestershire sauce. Okay? So let me make the, oh, you know what? Actually, let's season. Let's make the mix. Give a couple minutes for that season to set in. Really quickly, in our pellet hopper, we have one of my favorites. I like the charcoal blend. I don't care about the brands. I've never used it and thought otherwise, like this sucks. I know a lot of people have negative feelings about it. I'm telling you right now, I don't. I like it. Each to their own. I mix that with 50-50 B&B pellets. And then, even though I mix those 50-50, I still added that that 30% of the oak chips, and I mixed it up. I've done that in several videos. So now we have our wood chips mixed in, we have our charcoal flavor, and we have our oak flavor. So I think it should be a fantastic combination to go with our tenderloin. We're gonna be rocking, I'll show the temp, we're gonna be rocking about 225. I might actually go a little bit lower. Let's try 200. And the point is, you don't have a lot of wiggle room when you come to a tenderloin. Typically like 110 is what I'm shooting for to pull it. And considering it's 50 degrees outside, it's actually cooler than that, but average places outside, you don't have a lot of time on that smoker to develop a good crust, a good bark, a good flavor profile with a smoke. So if you can just turn down your smoker a little bit, add a little bit more smoke flavor, it'll be on the grill a little bit longer, and then we're gonna be able to sear it. All right, let's get started with seasoning and then we'll do the sauce. First thing we're doing is season, like I mentioned, but we are gonna be able to tuck this tail in, but I'm gonna tuck the tail in until we have seasoned everything, so everything's properly seasoned. So I'll tuck the tail in about like that, and then we'll butcher twine it and try to keep everything about as equal as possible. I'm gonna season this whole thing, and then you guys can figure out that the other one's gonna be seasoned exactly the same. If you guys are interested in this recipe, it'll be on pelletsandpits.com, along with how we did the prime rib. That's a recipe. And we actually made our prime rib sauce, the horseradish sauce with the mayonnaise, the sour cream, the Worcestershire sauce, the Dijon mustard, It all marries together. That is on there as well. So here we go. I'm looking at about a 50-50 blend of this. This is just a lot more pepper, has a little bit more salt than my seasoning does, so I like the combination. Rosemary, I'm gonna chop up, and I'm looking about a tablespoon of fresh chopped rosemary. Three large cloves of garlic, half a stick of butter. I'm gonna start working this butter into the garlic. It's probably been out here a little bit too long. This is supposed to be softened butter. I might have to nuke this just for a quick second. I'm gonna have to, it's too cold out here. All right, see how our butter's incorporated that rosemary and garlic? All right, from there, we're gonna add, I'm guesstimating about probably a quarter cup of mayonnaise, about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and I'm gonna go with a heavy horseradish. This is probably one thing different about the other recipe. I think it can handle more, especially when you cook it. I think when you cook it, it kind of like milds it out. So I'm gonna go for 4 tablespoons. I think my other recipe might have called for 2. Don't quote me on that. 1, it's probably 2, it's probably 3. And just to show you, there is a difference between prepared and creamy. We got the creamy because I knew people would want it with the filet today, but I'm just gonna use that. So this is 1 tablespoon. Even if I had this, I'd still go over the 4th tablespoon. So right there. I'm not gonna add salt and pepper to this. Obviously, we season our meat up. Now that our sauce is done, our seasoning is set, I've just folded that tail in. Just kind of keep it kind of like uniform, right? Like you just kind of see how the tail naturally tapers down. If you cook this on the smoker, this is gonna be extremely well done while this is medium rare. So what you try to do is hedge your bet. Some people trim it off. We're not doing that today. I don't think people are really gonna mind. And then we're just gonna tie it up.
Do you know what the weight on this was?
And then, yes, I do. And then to come down here, you notice how if you put it fat like this, how much fatter this is? So what we're gonna do is work our meat out. And then right there where that tail's at, we're going to make that a little bit more skinny. And this helps with even cooking as well. You're not tying anything except just trying to keep the meat from coming back in. Yeah, I think the average tenderloin is about 8 to 10 pounds. Once you trim it off, you should lose about maybe close to 2.5 to 3 pounds between the chain, the fat, and all that stuff. Depends on if you cut the tail off or not. So this should be about 5.5 to 6 pounds. Okay, just like that. Keeps it nice and even, okay? Presentation side down, and then you're just gonna lather this up all the way around 360 degrees. If you wanted to cheat anywhere on this tenderloin, the bottom is where you'd want to cheat. So you could go thinner if you needed to save a little extra for the top. I tied the tail the other way.
I know, when you said presentation side.
Jiminy Christmas. If it was me and the wife, I'd have just left it. We got people coming over, I at least have to act like I know what I'm doing. Don't do what I did. So we're not going to edit that out. Fold the tenderloin the other way. All right, and just like that, it should be done. I'm gonna work on the next one. Alrighty, hovering around 200. I'm gonna use a top grate today. A lot of people have told me during the smoking process that the lower the meat is to the fire pot, the baffle plate, the hotter it is. So we're gonna use the top shelf today. Because I'm really just looking for smoke. Whatever you do, don't lose any of that crust as it falls to the grates. All right, just stuck my fireboard probe thermometer in there, and we'll be checking the temperatures, monitoring those and all that stuff. So our target temperature is going to be about 105, maybe 110, since it's only at 200 degrees. And then I'll show you how to finish it. We're going to take the top plate out, take the bottom plate out, open the baffle, get it cranked up, and then we're going to sear it like we would a steak, open flame style. So this is not necessarily part of the video, but I'm doing a ton of mushrooms. My family likes mushrooms, so I've got baby bellas, regular white mushrooms, and portobello mushrooms. Cooking them all on the Blackstone griddle, getting that water released out of them. And then I got a stock of red wine, rosemary, beef bouillon, garlic, and butter that they're going to simmer in. All right. Temperature's been holding steady. I've slowly increased the temperature. It seemed like it was kind of like really slow to come up. So if we went from 200, 225, 225 to 250. Now we've hit the 100-degree temp, which is what I've been looking for. So now what we're gonna do, we got to do some rearranging. So I'm gonna take this piece of filet off. That piece of filet. Take the top rack out. Slide this out. Open the baffle. Crank up our temp. Doesn't really matter what temp you hold. The reason is as long as you keep opening the lid, the temperature is going to drop. What happens on a pellet grill is typically when you hit the 400-degree mark, it'll stop rolling the pellets. Well, open your lid about 375, 380, and then it's going to lose the heat, and then that way your fire keeps consistently roaring. So what we're going to do now is just let the actual grill itself heat up. We're going to get pretty close to probably like 375, and then we'll start searing those steaks off. All right, our temp's creeping up. So now what we're going to do is just show you some, it's going to be hard to show you the whole thing, but basically it's just going to be like keep it on there for 2 to 3 minutes, flip it 2 to 3 minutes, flip it 2 to 3 minutes. And while we're doing that, we can baste it with our butter that we had simmering with that garlic and making all that garlic tender. I'm gonna save a lot of this for when the steak's actually done. We're just flipping them back and forth. This is gonna be like my third or fourth turn. All right, it's time to pull it off the grill. I've already got the other one pulled off. See that nice char that we got? Now that those tenderloins have come off the smoker, kind of let them rest. Go and hit them with that garlic butter right on top. I'm gonna cut into that one right there. What do you think?
That's what we're here for.
All right. This is gonna be the rarer one out of the two because some people here like their meat a little bit more rare than medium rare. So I'm just gonna cut it right down the middle so you guys can look at it.
Boy, that looks perfect.
Yeah, that's a good looking one right there. All right, folks, there we go. A fantastic way to end the year. Thank you so much for bearing with us. Sorry I wasn't done early enough, but like I said, the sickness ran through the family. And this is our Christmas dinner. Whole smoked filet, and we finished on the open fire, which I highly recommend, whether it be charcoal, wood, or even the pellets. It just gives it that nice kiss on the end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share with your friends. If you think for 1 second I'm going to tell you if it's good or bad, you're out of your mind.
I was going to say we didn't try it. It's amazing.
Do we need to?
Make the sauce too. Sauce recipes on the website. It's amazing.
Peace.